A very good afternoon and many thanks for joining us at this time. You're watching News Analysis live on Politics and Business TV. The top stories. Right, President Bola Tinubu calls for sustained friendly cooperation between the Republic of Chad and Nigeria. International Monetary Fund IMF warns federal government to remove electricity subsidy. Organized labor pickets NERC and DISCO offices over hike in electricity tariff. Details coming up shortly. Right, welcome back. I am Omoife Peace Osemere. President Bola Tinubu has congratulated the President-elect of the Republic of Chad, Mahamat Debi, on his election victory. The President's congratulatory message was contained in a statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale. The statement quoted the President as saying that the successful conduct of elections in Chad underlined the commitment of the government and the people to democracy and orderly transition in the region. Tinubu also assured the Chadian President-elect that Nigeria will continue to work closely as both countries seek to enhance peace, security and shared prosperity for the mutual benefit of their citizens. He further called for sustained, friendly cooperation between both nations. And now the Chief Whip of the Senate, Senator Ali Ndume, has commended President Bola Tinubu for suspending the 0.5% cybercrime levy that was earlier announced by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. Ndume, who stated this on national television, said the president's move did not come as a surprise, further describing him as a listening, responsive and reactive person who is concerned with the affairs of the citizens. It would be recorded that the cybersecurity levy, which was introduced last week, was met with greeted with views and counter views. However, the lawmaker said the law was hurriedly passed, thereby leading to an oversight of some crucial details. Ndume further called on Nigerians to also look at the law and come up with possible implementable suggestions that will help fight cybercrime in the country. Now, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLA, has intercepted 3 trailer loads of opioids comprising 3,450,000 pills and 344,000 bottles of codeine syrup at Abule Ado in Amuwo, Dofin local government area of Lagos State. This was contained in a statement by the Director, Media and Advocacy, NDLA Headquarters, Abuja, Femi Babafemi. Babafemi, who said some suspects were also arrested in connection with the seizure, said or did not give a specific sum of the drugs worth, but added that the multi-billion naira consignment were loaded into 2 40-foot container trucks and another 20-foot truck at the AML bonded terminal, Abule Oshun, near the International Trade Fair complex. According to him, the trucks were heading to a large warehouse at Abule Ado, where NDLA officers eventually arrested the suspect and recovered the opioid consignment last week, Thursday. You're watching News Analysis live on Politics and Business TV. Still to come, human rights lawyer Femi Falana throws his weight behind picketing of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission headquarters and offices of the electricity distribution companies across the country. We'll bring you details of this and more in a moment. Do join us again. Right, welcome back. You're watching News Analysis live on Politics and Business TV. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has warned the federal government to remove what it called implicit fuel and electricity subsidies. According to media reports, IMF had in its report published recently cautioned the federal government that the subsidies would go up 3% of the nation's gross domestic product in 2024 as against 1% in the year before. Also, IMF had in the report commended the federal government for phasing out what it tagged costly and regressive energy subsidies, stressing that this was critical to creating fiscal space for development spending and strengthening social protection while maintaining debt sustainability. It, however, noted that adequate compensatory measures for the poor were not scaled up promptly and subsequently paused over corruption concerns. In the meantime, human rights lawyer Femi Falana has thrown his weight behind the planned picketing of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission headquarters and offices of the electricity distribution companies across the country today over the hike in electricity tariff. Recall that the organized labor under the auspices of the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress had issued NERC a May 12th deadline to reverse the hike in electricity tariff to 65 naira per kilowatt hour or risk having its commission and disco offices nationwide picketed. Consequently, NLC and TUC directed its state branches and affiliates in a warning letter jointly signed by NLC President Joe Ajaero and his counterpart, Festus Osifo, to mobilize their members in readiness for the picketing if the federal government and NERC fail to heed their warning. Reacting to the development, Falana argued that the proposed action is justified and is equally provided for in Nigeria's Labour Act. Well, earlier today, members of the Nigerian Labour Congress in Plateau State and the Trade Union Congress blocked the entrance of the headquarters of Jos Electricity Distribution Company in Jos, the state capital. According to media reports, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission offices located at the Gold and Base Axis in Jos were also picketed by the union members, leaving their workers stranded. Plateau State Chairman of the NLC, Eugene Mangji, who led the union members, said the action was in compliance with the directive of the NLC National Secretariat aimed at forcing the authorities to reverse the recent hike in the country's electricity tariff. We also understand that the same action took place in Kaduna and Lagos State. We'll bring you details in our subsequent bulletin. And now the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, has decried the increasing number of out-of-school children in Nigeria. This was disclosed at a two-day regional stakeholders engagement meeting in Gombe on out-of-school children and retention, transition and completion models in Bauchi, Gombe and Adamawa State by the Chief of Bauchi Field Office, Dr. Tushar. UNICEF put the number at 18.3 million, noting that the alarming figure positions Nigeria as the country with the highest number of out-of-school children globally. We will be having a candid conversation on this much later, but of course we'll keep you abreast, as to how it unfolds. But that would be it for now on News Analysis. Thank you so much for watching. There is more to come up right here. I am Omoife Peace Osemere. Good afternoon.